We got the brightness all the way up on there too. We barely seen anything.
Pop back up yet? I don't see it.
Nice.
What's up? Okay. Going back to what we was reading, because we bringing up basically the order of things, and all this thing going on in women really started when we talked about the woman in Chicago that got hit by the ice. The ice took her up. And if you don't got the names of Yakalba Page, if you're not following in line in the order that the Lord has set up, which is the Heavenly Father, the only begotten Son, the man, the woman, and children, if you're not following that order, the Lord's gonna get rid of you, man.
Because you out of order.
Yeah, kind. That's right. It says, this is 1 Corinthians chapter 11. I'm gonna hit straight to the point. It says verse 3. But I would have you know that the head of every man is a Mashiach. That's right. And the head of the woman is the man.
But in this society, Esau got the roles reversed, where he placed the woman over top of the man.
Right.
Gave her the substance, placed restrictions on how he can make a living.
Get the
basically
precept.
deballing him, taking his testicles away,
Also create a new
placing
thing
the
in
woman
the
over
earth,
top of him.
children.
So giving the woman power, that's the weaker vessel. That's total out of orderness. That's just why we have YNs running around here, basically doing whatever they want to do. Because the order is flipped upside down.
Yeah, well, they used feminism as a vehicle to forward a lot of agendas, to forward a lot of oppression, and to forward a lot of destabilization when it comes to family structure, when it comes to taking away the dynamics of power and separating them from the men and giving them to the woman through the legal system. You know, the big part of women's power is the legal power that they've basically gained by the laws that Esau has passed. You know, this is why when the woman, especially here on the West, when they initialize divorce, okay, they end up getting the alimony, they end up getting child support, right? And even if the woman is working, they still allocate that man's funds, supposedly in the name of the child, but to that woman. All right?
Right.
And the woman is a fool because they don't realize all they have become is debt slaves themselves. Remember, there was a time where a woman didn't work. Okay? So they needed a way to get women into the system legally so that they could tax them. Because it's all money being filtered back into the state, back into the pockets of Esau. And that's all that's about. You celebrate that as freedom, as empowerment, but all you really did was get put in a position of a debt slave. Because they were only able to tax one of us. Now they get to get both of us. And then if you're on your own, you're getting taxed too. So that's not freedom. That's not liberty. They sold you a damn lie. But regardless, they use feminism as a vehicle to pass a lot of laws, agendas, social norms. Like it's an avenue that they use to control social behavior.
That's right.
And that's why these women's minds are so messed up. If you go back to the foundations and the fundamentals, and I'm not saying it's right, I'm just saying if you go back to the foundation of it, it was the advocacy for women to own property and for women to have a so-called right to vote. That was so-called first wave feminism. Suffrage, right. Going into the rights to vote and all that. Then, all of a sudden, from there it evolved into gender roles, societal norms, advocating for empowerment, which is no more than women exposing themselves, right, whoredom. So you got to look at feminism as a vehicle that they use, an avenue that they use to pass a lot of this wickedness that we see now, or to forward, I should say, a lot of the wickedness that we see now, especially when it comes to the power dynamic, because they got them in the system legally, and they've given them a certain amount of power. And women have abused themselves with that liberty. Right? The woman being the weaker vessel. See, what a lot of y'all don't want to hear is the fact that a woman's designation is to be ruled over. You don't want to hear that, but you have to be ruled over. There's no such thing as dependence. See, that's another thing that they lied to you about. You became less dependent on a good man and more dependent on the system, while also believing you're independent. It's confusion, and it's wickedness.
That's right.
It don't make sense. All right, but that's the structure that they put in place. The wicked, the so-called white man, he saw Eden. That's the structure he put in place because it creates a weak society, and a weak society, right, cannot defend itself.
Easy to control.
Easy to control. So all of these things play into one another. As the brothers were already going into.
I got the precept.
Yeah, go ahead.
Jeremiah 31 and 22. How long wilt thou go about, O thou backsliding daughter? For Yahweh hath created a new thing in the earth. A woman shall compass a man.
And that's what we see in this society.
Right.
Through their legal system. That's why, see, the dynamic in this society is woman by default is the victim. Doesn't matter if they are the abuser. Doesn't matter if they're the manipulator, which oftentimes they are the abuser. Oftentimes they are the manipulator. They're the ones doing the dirt, so you can understand. But they've enabled women with that power, but that power only serves the wicked as an end result of yielding that so-called power because it's left-handed.
Sure.
Going away from your man and taking his resources so you can live a so-called better life, which that better life is destroying yourself, living uncontrolled, self-willed, proud, adulterous, right? They sold you that as liberty and freedom, and you've completely destroyed yourself.
That word compass, as it goes, it says, when you go into the Google, it says to go around something in a circular course. It says compass. Yeah, to go over, yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Yeah, so when you compass a man, you're going around the authority.
Yep.
So, because a man, like Brother Booby said, the Lord has set it up. It said where the head of the woman is the man. So that he's the person that you're supposed to go through.
Yeah.
But then it said what the
You've been designed as a creature that needs to be ruled over. This is why the Lord set up that power dynamic.
That's right.
And guess what? We are also a creature that have been designed to be ruled over. Who's our ruler? Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
Who's his ruler? Yahweh. That's the way it works.
Right.
You know?
The only person that doesn't have to answer to anybody is the Heavenly Father.
Yeah, Yahweh. That's it.
Everybody has a master, man.
And that's a good thing, though.
Yep.
That's a good thing.
Right. Going back to what I had out of 1 Corinthians, my people say in spirit, there's a reason why Paul was even saying this to the church of Corinth in the first place, man. Because the same spirit that's here in America was in that place, Corinth, with the women over the men and like a bunch of bullshit going on, man. You know, so he's setting in place ordinances, which is really ordinances from the Heavenly Father to his only begotten Son, man. The heavenly order. I'll read again. This is 1 Corinthians 11.
Right, there's nothing new under the sun. And during that time, you had all types of adultery going on, whoredoms, woman worship.
Yep.
You know, even in the ancient world, you still had forms of woman worship.
Yeah. Yep.
Putting a woman on a fucking pedestal. Even going back to the beginning, in Genesis 3:16, it says that she shall have a desire to rule over you. When you read Genesis 3:16, the man is supposed to have the dominion, but the desire of the woman is to try to rule over you.
Yeah. Perpetual demon.
Yeah. In this society, by the left-handed structure, okay, based on the Edomites who are in power right now, they've enabled these women to do just that, rule over you. You can't be a real man in this society. You have to downplay masculinity, otherwise you're called toxic. Or you're an abuser, or you're oppressive. All these different shaming tactics that they use to try to control, you know, your behavior.
Yeah, they create these TV shows for you to model yourself after, like Mr. Huxley.
Right.
You fucking Mr. Huxley.
Right. Or even these different sitcoms. Notice on these different sitcoms, you've always got the man basically being a fucking clown, a buffoon.
Yeah.
And the woman always seems to be the intellectual superior.
Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah, what's it called? The recent
She's a smart one. She's all the one who's always coming up with this. Nah, man, that's total. First of all, that's not even the way the dynamic actually works. All you gotta do is leave the room for a second. And if a woman sees a bug, she'll lose her fucking mind. Just a bug. Okay?
What's that man name on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Father.
Oh yeah, Uncle Phil.
Yeah, Uncle Phil.
Yeah, yeah,
James
yeah.
Avery, right?
Yeah.
The actor. Yeah. Well, yeah. You had the show Kings and Queens with Kevin James.
What's the other one? Recently, House of Pain. The man is always a fucking idiot.
Yeah, yeah.
The woman gotta come and be the logical.
Everybody hates Chris. That show too.
man.
Like Terry Crews' character, he was a fucking basically a buffoon, like an idiot.
Sam.
Even though he was, he had that somewhat strict stern, but it was always the woman's supposed.
Yeah. His woman could rule over him,
right.
but around everybody else, he was a man except towards his fucking woman.
Remember that bullshit show too with the one of the Wayans brothers? What the fuck was that show called?
Oh, My Wife and Kids.
Yeah, that one too.
That bullshit. Yeah, that one was.
That one too.
The only show that I really rocked with was The Rock. The Rock. What's that one? He was like a sanitation worker. Like, he was basically a hard man. He didn't take any shit.
Yeah.
And his wife, he had his wife.
Yeah, you might have two
but they
episodes.
do that, remember, Slacky, brother. But they do that in these movies, these sitcoms, etc., because they're socially engineering the people to think a certain way, to influence them in a certain way. Yeah, to influence their behavior.
Even with these superhero movies, stuff like Spider-Man, AJ, you go sleep with another man and all that, he's still trying to get her back.
Yeah.
Spider-Man,
He's fucking Spider-Man.
Yeah, everybody.
He can lift cars and throw. I can punch through you. It's some shit, but I gotta. Oh, my woman. Bro, what? Nah, man. I remember brother said a long time ago in the spirit. You got the term gentleman, which in reality you're supposed to be a gentleman to your brother. You're actually supposed to rule over your woman strictly.
That's the scriptures. Yeah. Give not the woman much liberty to gad abroad. Right? That means you give her parameters. And you got to enforce those parameters.
God, fits, man.
Yeah.
That's great. I got this again. I'm reading. This is our first.
Hey, you ever notice when you deal with a woman, you're always going to find yourself repeating the same shit.
Over and over. I just ignored it.
Yeah.
He was just being a spook. That's all.
And he wouldn't say that if we were a fucking bunch of Muslims, he wouldn't say that bullshit.
They wear the full fucking thing around, man.
Just a typical a spook.
Yeah.
Just a
Satan gotta make himself known. Like that's supposed to mean something. Like a goddamn fool gonna judge us and shit.
He just didn't get enough attention at home and shit. So
Right. Well, the Most High just brought him up here to get judged. That's all. See, people don't realize when you come up here and you come past the men of the Lord, you either are gonna be found, in the graces of the Lord, or on the bad side. And it's not because of us; it's because of the spirit that's on us.
That's right.
You come around the men of the Lord and you start causing offenses. Mosai said that it'd be better. Yeah, get it real quick. Just real quick.
Yeah, the Lord speak. He just showed us the product of a single parent.
Yeah, right. That's really all it is.
Roll up on men and disrespect them.
And then if he got an ass whooping, he'd be crying.
That's an example.
What's wrong? Right? Yeah. Yo, y'all tripping, man.
I'm just playing.
I got it right here. This is Matthew 18:6. But whoso shall offend one of these little ones.
Remember what I said earlier too through the Spirit was that through that vehicle of feminism, this society has become weak. The men have become the weakest they've ever been. And that, like the brother said, is a byproduct of feminism and of the culture that is out here. It has created weak men. Weak. They're fucking weak out here, man. The women are weak and the men are weak.
Sweet.
There's no respect, no kind of fear. And the only thing that Jake responds to
Physical violence.
is pain. That's when their mind wants to change. But that's okay. That's the scriptures. The same must know it. That,
The opinion.
yeah.
Yeah, if he probably would have saw an alphabet lifestyle, he would say, my body, my choice. He could wear what he want to wear.
Oh yeah,
Right.
his favorite rapper is probably Young Thug and shit, man.
He's a back shop baby. Okay? BSB. Back shop baby. That's what he is.
Says, I'm gonna read this one again. This is Matthew 18:6. It says, but whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone be hanging about his neck and that he were drowned in the depths of the sea.
Yeah, and drowning is one of the worst ways that you can give up the ghost, man. So imagine how you're gonna get punished for offending one of these little ones, which is us. They're willing to be those men.
Right.
Yeah.
But the 2/3 of our people not gonna take heed to what we speaking about because we ain't number women in skirts. We fools for Mashiach. That's how they say it. We expect it. It's all good, though. But all he did was mock us.
Yeah, they got exactly, and they got their role to play. We got ours. That's okay. When that time comes, which we're in those times, we're in the beginning of those times now. When those times ultimately are unveiled, they're gonna be looking for us, and they're not gonna find us.
I got that word, the Spirit told me to just get it. I got the word offend, one of these little ones. The word offend in the Greek is scandalizo. It says, put a stumbling block and impede in the way. It says, upon another, make trip and fall. It says, to entice to sin, to cause a person to distrust or desert, whom he ought to trust or obey. It says, to cause to fall away. It says, another one is to cause one to judge unfavorably unjust to. Some more, it says, to make indige, to displeased or indigent. And that word indigent, real fast. It says, indigent, it says a feeling or showing anger or ignorance at what perceived to be unfair treatment. So you come up to a man of the Lord, you be disrespectful, or if you come to somebody that say you believe, and you try to entice them to sin, because he probably like, oh man, y'all wearing shirts, y'all should be wearing suits and shit. But that's not according to the scriptures how we should be dressing to be in front of the altar of the Lord. You know, suit and tie, all this other shit. Ultimately, if you come and offend the men of the Lord says it's better for you to off yourself, man. Because what the Lord's going to do to you, oh man, it's work. We already went to have all the terrorists and the Lord's the nickname in the ancient world was Al-Shadja, demon-like power. You just marked yourself, man. You could have just rolled by, kept your mouth quiet. We talk about a fool. If you keep his mouth shut, he's counted as wise. That's the one. That one. I'm gonna go back to what we had 1 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 3. It says, but I would have you know that the head of every man is a Mashiach, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of a Mashiach is the Most High Yahweh. So going back to the order of things, everybody under Yahweh has somebody that have to answer to, man. You know, and that's just the truth of the matter. And the major thing, like you said in the Spirit, that America has pushed is that you don't gotta have nobody over you. No, his brother said, yeah, the woman, your head is the man. You are meant to be ruled over. We're meant to be ruled over by Yahweh Shai. Yahushua was meant to be ruled over of the Heavenly Father, man. So everybody got to answer to somebody. And if you don't want to get down with that order, in the times to come, you're going to be destroyed. That woman in Chicago, it happened to be the one, a Latin tribe, okay? She got, the ICE hit her, they detained her for a whole day and left her car there and shit, and then released her with no charges, man. You know, but then we have the one thing I got right here, I'm reading it again.
Is that the situation where the ICE agents ran into it?
Yeah, that one.
And then they basically kidnapped her.
Yeah. Well, that's why I brought this up, because I found it also I'm reading again from Now This Impact News. It says criminals posing as ICE have committed robberies, kidnappings, and essays, the FBI says. So who knows? Those people couldn't even, if they didn't have to be ICE agents, man. They could have been posing and did whatever they did to her and let her go or some shit, man.
Or they could be saving face. Because who knows, like these different agents of Esau are psychologically disturbed.
Yeah.
So they could be putting this out to save face. Because they probably are real ICE agents doing some atrocious shit, but they gotta play it off.
Yep. And we brought these out because
Make it seem like, oh, well, the agents we hired aren't doing that. Those are false impersonators doing those things.
yeah, it's like if an undercover cop did something illegal, they're not gonna claim him as a police officer. You know, so it just shows you that.
You never know. But hey, right now the times that we're living in, you can't be ignorant. You can't be ignorant. You gotta, mind all things.
I got another scripture. This is
That's why the scriptures say to be circumspect.
It's the same chapter. It's 1 Corinthians 11 and verse 8. It says, "For the man is not of the woman, but the woman of the man. Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman for the man." You know? So this is why in the spirit, Brother was talking about to the sisters that were watching. We ended up seeing a sister on a comment board, so in the spirit that it was meant to be said that in these coming times, especially now, when you get with a man of the Lord, he's not going to be into his affairs. He's not entangled in the affairs of this life, and a part of the affairs of this life is being all into your woman and shit, man. That's not. We're not in the time of doing that shit, man. Okay? Yeah, boo loving and shit. Yeah, we're not in the time for that. There's a time and season for everything, and we're not in that season. We're in the season. You get with a man of the Lord. It's his program on the fucking highway, man. Which it should always be that way. But again, we're in America, so we know things hasn't always been like that. But we're coming into a time. So if you come to a man of the Lord, you better come in proper order, just like we're coming in proper order with Yahushua Shemel. That's why I read that. Even the head of the man is Mashiach Yahushua. We can't just come to Yahushua any type of way. We have to tailor our behavior, to how to please Yahushua Shemel. And same thing likewise with the women. It says, verse 9, and read again, it says, "Neither was the man created for the woman, but the woman created for the man. For this caused out the woman to have power on her head because of the angels. Nevertheless, neither is the man without woman, neither the woman without the man in the Lord." So in all reality, we know that there's going to be a need for each other, but in these times, you better step in line where you need to step in line at, man. Get in line in proper order with the men of the Lord. So you hear these videos, like I'm on the word, say you better shoot your shot at the men of the Lord. Shit, time is getting rough, man. Perilous times. Keep on quoting.
Yeah, that don't mean that we're equals either.
Yeah,
It means that there's a proper use for the man and for the woman,
that's right.
and they balance, right? They complement each other.
Here it is, this one. 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. It says, and knowing also that in the last days perilous times shall come. I want to get that word perilous.
I believe it means dangerous.
Yep. Perilous. It says perilous times. It says full of danger, risky, involving exposure to death.
Right. That if you don't have a man of the Lord, then you're exposed to death.
That's right. That's right.
Okay?
The hedge of protection is not going to be around you.
That's why it says that a man shall be a hiding place from the wind. The wind is a representation of all forms of destruction.
This is Isaiah 32 and 2. Oh, this is good. We was just in this chapter. It says, "And a man shall be a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, as the rivers of water in a dry place, and the shadow of a great rock in a weary land." You know, and this is why
those
you
are
need
metaphors for protection, for relief.
That's right. That's right. It says, let me read that again. It says, "And a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind, and a covert from the tempest, and as rivers of waters in a dry place, and as a shadow of a great rock."
What you're experiencing right now is men, especially, particularly and specifically, men that are in the spirit, their value is on the rise.
Sure.
Okay? Now, conversely, women's value is on the decline.
Rapid.
Excuse me. Rapid decline. It's redlining.
We in a deficit,
perishable.
man. We're in deficits, man. Woo.
And it's meant to be insulting, but the reality is, if you repent, you're going to be all right. But generally speaking, the value of a woman is in a rapid decline.
I got something.
Because when it all comes down to it, you're not going to be able to defend yourself. You're not going to be able to save yourself. There's nowhere you're going to be able to run. And you're going to continue to trust your enemy? A lot of you are.
Yeah.
Not for the faithful sisters, I'm not talking about you, but just in the general sense. A lot of you are going to go running right to the arms of the enemy for your ultimate demise.
That's right.
You think it's a joke all you want to. A lot of y'all that think it's funny is the same ones complaining about these damn SNAP benefits that you can't get.
Still talking shit. Says,
One of y'all, doing the Dollar General fucking budget meal and shit. So we're going to see. We're going to see.
So I'm going to jump
But
down.
we know. I'm reading it to you.
I'm jumping to verse 10 real quick. 10 and 11. It says, "Many days and years shall ye be troubled, ye careless women, for the venture shall fail, and the gathering shall not come. Tremble, ye women that are at ease. Be troubled, ye careless ones. Strip you, make you bare, gird up sackcloth upon your loins." So you're supposed to be in a mourning state right now. But the majority of our women are actually mourning, but they still have that proud, pompous attitude, just as they did in the time of Jeremiah.
Yeah, they're still holding out false hope. That's why.
Yeah.
They haven't really truly humbled themselves.
That's right.
They're holding out onto false hope. See, they're not used to. See, the thing is, they're used to you might fall on rough times, things like that, but eventually you rebound, right? There's no rebounding. This is it. We in the end times of the end times. Give me Hebrews 1 and 1 real quick. We're in the end times of the end times.
Hebrews,
Oh, go ahead.
Hebrews chapter 1, verse 1. And the Lord, the power who at sundry times and in divers manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets.
Continue.
Verse 2, have in these last days.
So really, at the time of Yahweh Shai, like being crucified and resurrected, really marked the end days. So that's why brothers say we're in the end times of the end times. We're really at the end of that little season. When we go into the book of Revelation that talks about Satan being loosed a little season, he's been loosed for a certain amount of time, and that time is just about expired. So we're at the time where the Edomites are being taken down. And as the scriptures say, Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it. Jake is on the rise, and Esau and all that have joined themselves onto him are on the decline.
That's right.
And things are going to get hectic. These Edomites are going to show more of their true colors. As the scriptures say, the devil shall come upon you having great wrath, knowing that he hath but a short time. Donald Trump did an interview, I think just the other day, and he basically told y'all straight out. Many of y'all who get on them benefits don't deserve the benefits. You're just using the system, and we're not paying it out no more. So it's not coming back. He basically told you it's not coming back.
Yeah.
Even though you had the federal judges try to overturn all of this. You know,
and even with this just last election day, where they made all these states that were just red, blue, all that's going to cause is what's it called? More civil war, and it caused, guess what? Now that Pennsylvania has turned from a red state to a blue state, now he can send the goddamn National Guard in. All them states that were red, that once majority red, now turned blue. He can now send what he's been doing with Chicago and these other cities, man. He's gonna send them National Guards in there, man.
right, because everything that opposes the government is considered an insurrection, which is just a byword for them right now, or another word or a euphemism for T-ism. That's how they're utilizing it. Oh, you want to rebel? You want to protest? Right? That's insurrection.
And they march you.
That's T-ism. We don't know what you're gonna. We don't know what you're gonna do.
We said earlier, even last week, we said they marched you when you went to the No King protest. They said that they had pseudo cell towers to make sure to see who's at the fucking protest. So they know exactly who they targeted and who's at those Minneapolis protests. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Niggas. So they already got it in the bag to where they count you as so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans as a threat and as theists to the system. So they're going to come down with great wrath, and really the Lord coming down upon you with great wrath, right? You know? What's the word I'm looking for? To avenge or to cause vengeance to come upon you for your evil doing. I think that's Isaiah, Jeremiah.
It's good.
Shalom, brother.
What's good, family?
It's good. I'm gonna grab it. This is Isaiah chapter.
What's good with y'all? What's good? Shop working out. Hey, this is nice, man. Water for this. Hook me up. Still got it.
Chapter 13, there we go. Yeah. It's Isaiah chapter 13, verse.
Good. I can help you.
Go on. It says, Isaiah chapter 13. I'm gonna start at verse. Woo. Let's start at verse 1. It says, "This is the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah, the son of Amos, did see. Lift ye up the banner upon the high mountain, exalt the voice unto them, shake their hand, that they may go into the gates of the noble." You know, and like brothers always say, we're lifting up the high banner, which is, you know, us with this tribe sign. You know, for us come out on the highways and byways. That's us, preaching this word is that burden that's really upon Babylon, man. That heavy weight that's judging this place, man. Okay? You know, because if you keep on reading, it says what? The Lord has his sanctified ones, all right? The angels and his mighty ones, his mighty ones and the angels and the men of the Lord out here, doing the Lord's work. Angels behind the scenes in the spirit, but you got the men of the Lord out here in the physical realm, doing the Lord's will too, man. Chanting down this place, Babylon the Great. I'm gonna jump down to verse 7. I start at verse 5. It says, "They come from a far country, from the end of heaven, even Yahweh and the weapons of his indignation destroy the whole land. This is for you. I'm reading.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, quiet.
Yeah, this is Isaiah chapter 13, verse 5. It says, "They are come from a far country."
Yeah, these talking about the missiles.
That's right.
All right, the nuclear missiles are. You got nuclear ICBMs. You got the hypersonic.
I was gonna name my
missiles
daughter
as well.
Sophia too.
All right, avant-garde. Okay.
Right. It says, "From a far country, from the end of heaven, even Yahweh and the weapons of his indignation destroy the whole land."
Right. And these missiles gonna be coming from places like Russia. Right. Gonna be coming from China, North Korea, different Pakistan. India, if I'm not mistaken, India, you know, different nations that got what? Got that nuclear capability, got them arrows, got the iron weapons as the scripture going to, right? The glittering sword, okay? They're going to be shot off, all right? And it's going to be hitting this place, Babylon the Great, America, all right? The places it's slated to, all right? Keep going.
Real fast in the spirit, get some more. I'm jumping to the second Ezra chapter 7, verse 12. It says, "Then," this is like chapter 9, verse 8. It says, "Shall be preserved from the said perils, and shall see my salvation in my land."
Right, which the elect is going to see the salvation. The Lord actually going to bring them into the land of Israel too. All right, so we know, we still waiting. And the true, Israelites and such, all right, starting with the elect, they of course got to get delivered first. All right, meaning you can't just go over there and flee in Babylon and go to Israel now, and that's we being saved.
Right. Because the Lord said we weren't going to be delivered, right, until that destruction. The Lord said, hold back the destruction till I seal the servants. So the destruction is being held back until the servants are really being sealed. Which we're very well in the time of all the Lord's servants being sealed and the hopeful elect. Because the deliverance and the destruction is going to be simultaneous. That's the whole reason for the salvation. The salvation, the redemption, is based upon the fact that we need to be saved from the horrible wrath and judgment that is to come. Otherwise, we'll be no need. We would just migrate. Oh, this is coming, we're going to go over here. Oh, famine is coming, we're just going to go over here. That's not the way it's going to work, though. That's why when you go into the scripture, it says that which the famine, well, I might be getting it backwards, but it says something to the effect that which the famine doesn't kill, the sword shall destroy.
Yeah, come on. That doesn't, family doesn't kill, the sword will. Where that's at.
Because no matter where you go, if you are without Yakalba Page, you're done, you're finished, you're through. You're not going to have a way out. Your only way out is the deliverance of Yakalba Page, having the mercy of Yakalba Page. You got to be an Israelite, but you got to be of the elect. Okay? And the elect begins with the ministers. Then you have the rest of the other believers. But there are also of the elect too. That other piece of the multitude that's written about in the book of Revelation 7th chapter, that's not the other nations of the Israelites.
I got another one. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 9, verse 20. "So I considered the world, and behold, there was peril because of the devices that were come into it." So, because of the Esau, Edom, and the wickedness and all the things that people have been doing on this planet, the Lord's about to bring dangerous and evil times, like the AI and all this other stuff, the drones that this devil has, and where he can set up drones for, what's that one, there's a little fly drone that can go towards your head and explode and shoot a projectile into it. I just watched a video on that last week. All these other things. You got AI robots, Boston Dynamics. They've been perfecting that humanized robot that can now hold items like this and actually hold guns. They put that in the movie Chappie. The movie with the AI robot Chappie that could hold guns and shoot people and shit like that. Well, that's real. They got that in real life right now. That wasn't just imagination. That was imagination that he's brought to life.
He also has bioweapons too that he created in the lab to target certain genes. You saw that in the movie with Tom Cruise in it.
Minority?
No,
Minority Report?
not that. Mission Impossible.
Yeah, Mission Impossible, yeah. Not only that, what's the other one? It was in the G.I. Joe movie too, man. It was like they did like before they did the main one with the missile that came down from heaven. There was another pestilence that they put out that was like plaguing the people. You know, but then they also have the frequency up there in Kingsman. They can, these people that got the jump shot, they can turn a certain frequency on and execute mentally, and it has people out here to do things. They did that with the.
But that's what they said in I Am Legend.
Yeah.
They gave everybody those inoculations because they said that they cured. Was it cancer?
Yeah.
They said that they cured cancer, and then several years later, it messed with the DNA, and it caused basically uncontrollable rage. You know?
Just for no reason. That's why
And you already got substances out there that do that to these people anyway. Bath salt, spice, whatever the hell, street names they got for it. You know, and the thing of it is it gives these people retard strength. A lot of people that get on that shit when they wake out, you witness those videos. One guy was getting shot by the cops, and this motherfuckers kept coming like he was fucking some goddamn Michael Myers. You know? It took like the whole fucking clip to get this guy down. You know? And then reports of like the movie Split, where people rage and just smashing people's shit up, breaking into people's houses just for no reason. So they already got certain devices out there to fuck with people's minds. And it's definitely biological warfare. That's why they allow those substances to exist. Because you would think shit like that wouldn't even be able to be obtainable.
And then you go to the smaller level, which is the foods in the store. When you consume it, you mess with your body, you're doing up.
Yep.
Fuck with your ability to take the sleep.
You said sleep?
So he just
Fuck with your sleep.
Same with the Lord got his armor, which is those nuclear weapons. Esau got his armor too.
Yep. You got these women working, 13, 14 hours, 16-hour shifts, completely destroyed. They don't have no fighting them to be no housewife, man. That destroyed the unit of the family. You can't even fucking have children with these women, man. Unless it's a special case. Blessed. To have no quarrels with them,
16 talking. God. You're not gonna find it. Yes, 16.
There's a lot in there. You can start honestly 17. All right, what else we got? Next precept.
This is Isaiah 20. It's like Isaiah 29 and 16. I'm going to verse 15. It says, "Woe unto them that seek
it's second Ezra 16.
to
You
hide
start
their
actually in
counsel from
17.
your house.
Where Ezra says, "Woe is
And their works are in dirt, and they say, who seeth us, and who knoweth us?" We're talking about the so-called secret counsel of the wicked. That they have been revealed, man. The Illuminati, Rothschilds, or basically any elite family banking system. Okay. Because we all know that's what it goes back to.
Right. What are some of the secrets, right, that's been revealed? The NWO, the depopulation, the universal micro-C hippie, right?
Georgia Guides.
Right. That's part of their depopulation program. Number one, on that, because remember they destroyed them some years back, because a lot of people were waking up to that. You know, a lot of people already knew. Elder apostles knew. We knew. And then they had to destroy them. It was becoming too public. You know, your common person basically knew about that. You know, so they're like, nah, we got to erase that.
That's scripture, brother.
Okay, 1 second. So those are what the brothers, the things that have been revealed, or the things that have been exposed, is those different agendas, those secret councils. And the whole root of it is that struggle between Jacob and Esau. Esau's inward thought that his house shall rule forever. Remember, he didn't inherit the ultimate blessing, and his birthright was taken away. but he's still trying to fight for holding power over the earth indefinitely. It's just not going to go down like that.
That's right.
That's why he's got these. It is crazy when you think about it. Trying to control the populace and get everybody universally see him. You're really destroying the earth in the process. You're destroying the earth in the process of pursuing immortality on the left-hand side in total control, but you still go ahead and do it anyway. That is literally a madman. Okay, or a devil. And those are the secret councils. That pretty much by any means necessary, this man will go to unfathomable lengths to try to retain power over the earth. Even though he knows he's losing his power and it's being taken away. You know, it's like an animal that you get trapped in a corner. Once it's trapped, right? Right, it's gonna fight. And this man is definitely Pharaoh. Go ahead.
And it says, and their works are in the dark, and they say, who seeth us and who knoweth us? Verse 16. Surely you think.
Yeah, they do things very covertly. They do things very covertly. You know, like we talking about, I think last week, the scriptures talk about woe to the grievousness which he has prescribed. He'll put together 1,000-page bills. He'll label it, you know, the big beautiful bill, for example. But then there's pages and pages of other underlying agendas that Congress or the public don't know about until virtually after it's already said and done. Oh, this was in here. Oh, that was in here. Reform this, reform that.
I did that with Obama with certain bills. I forget that one bill he passed, but I know within it is basically saying that he can detain you for no fucking reason.
Like ICE. ICE is doing that.
Yeah, so those things
Hopping out of vans.
in line for what we're coming into now.
Right. Yep. Yeah, they do things very covertly. You know, speaking code. They basically tell these people too that they're about ready to move on them or destroy them or do certain things, but they say it in such a way that it goes undetected. The devil is what? More subtle than any beast of the field. Though his words are what? Smoother than butter, war was in his heart. Softer than oil. But he always has an ulterior motive. Now we are coming into a time, because even in the comments, people were saying when he made those comments about the SNAP benefits, basically people are abusing the system, they're not getting those benefits. People in the comments were saying he's showing his horns more and more.
Damn.
So people are getting privy to the fact, even if they don't outright say or know he's an Edomite and he's a devil among devils, they are starting to see it in some way. And you're going to see it even more. That's why you got these troops in these different major cities. You got these ICE agents in these different major cities. They're pulling back, you know, and they're all setting you up to destroy the old system for the new system. Okay? Which is a part of what the brother's going into. Those secret councils. Well, we got to get everybody on that sea hit. Mandatorily on that sea hit. Go ahead.
It says, surely you're turning of things upside down.
Oh, Salakia, brother. As a matter of fact, another comment read, society is looking more like the movie Idiocracy. And I don't know if y'all brothers seen the movie Idiocracy. It's the spirit, because I was on Netflix last night looking for a movie, and lo and behold, it popped up randomly. I was a few clicks in, and Idiocracy happened to show up. Now, in there, you know, I'm just going to get to the point. In there was an individual who ended up, you know, being in the future, an average individual, but he was supposedly the smartest guy because everybody got turned into a bunch of fucking idiots. Literally, they were dumbed down to the point where they couldn't do basic problem solving or anything. But there was a constant theme in that movie where they kept saying he don't got the tattoo, and they set off the alarms and everybody was freaking out because he didn't receive the tattoo, which was basically a series of barcodes. Now, when he did finally get it, and they forced it on him when he was basically so-called in prison, they forced it on him. One of the numbers in there was what? 6. You know, so they showing you in these movies, whether it's through satire or whatever the genre, they're showing you, they're telling you. And that's the left hand at work. You know? The so-called left-handed prophecy. The rich craft. They have, I forget the technical term for it, but they have to tell you what they're going to do before they do it.
They're hidden in plain sight.
Yeah. Go ahead, bro.
It says, surely your things of turning, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work say of him that made it, he made me not? Or shall the thing framed say of him that framed it, he had no understanding? Yeah, that's the spirit of sinful whiteness. Because he don't believe in the higher power. So he believes on the left-hand side because that's where the Most High put him at. Yeah. But there is a higher power that controls him.
Yeah.
But he doesn't think in his own mind that that's capable. Okay? Because like the scripture say, he was altogether such a blood as thyself.
Right.
He think he is the most high.
Right. Thy terribleness has deceived thee. O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rock. And the Most High took a shot at him by saying that too. The Most High didn't say that just by mistake. He was reminding this devil where he's from, what his history is, what type of base man he is. Your terribleness that's a definitive statement by the Most High. Okay? Through the prophet Jeremiah. Thy terribleness
I think they can hear it from here.
Oh, thou that
What you think? Yeah, they can hear it.
And no doubt this man has been a terror on the earth through his military, through his economic policy. The biggest theist on the planet is the so-called white man. But you are going to be taken out of power and you're going to return back to the basis of men, which you are. But your condition is going to exemplify exactly the quality of person you are because you're going into captivity. You were made to serve. You will serve the Israelites. But from the greatest to the least, you will serve the Israelites. That's the condition. Until the Lord, after 1,000 years of time, is no longer abused. Obadiah 1:18. Go ahead. Okay, it's a lot. Yeah, so Most High gonna destroy the crowd. Hey, all that do wickedly. What? That's Malachi 4:1. Go ahead. Oh, slack it, brother. You're right.
Yeah, so this is 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. It says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us when we are not ignorant of his devices. And that's our job, to come out here and to tell people exactly what the devil is up to. You know, it's hidden in plain sight, like the brother said, that he's sabotaging the food, sabotaging the women, and doing everything he can to corrupt the spirit of Israel. Because it goes back to the enmity that he's had since the days of, being in the womb, man. It goes back to that. The subtlety of the serpent that you brought out earlier in Genesis 3:1. When you go into that word subtle, is the same word that's in the crafty counsel from Psalm 83. So we know that it's the tricks that the devil is up to try to destroy the Israelites in the world, basically.
In that gay-ass agenda Obama was pushing, they found remember when Elon Musk was doing that thing where he was going into the money and shit, trying to uncover the money? So he found that they was giving like $10 million to Sri Lankan journalists, right? For research on fucking gay people.
The LGBT reporters.
What the fuck is that? This man stands up and he acts like he's about Judeo-Christian values. That's a big ass lie too. All of that shit. The Balfour Declaration of 1948. You know that was all because America was indebted to the banking system. It really was collapsing after the Civil War, and that's why they ended up fucking doing a deal with the Rothschilds. Doing a deal to say, hey, look, we'll give you this land. You guys could just go up in here and just give us some bread, give us the money. You know, so there's a lot of foul shit going on, especially that guy. What's his name? B.B. Malachowski. That's his name. Instead of B.B. Netanyahu. His name is fucking B.B. Malachowski. He's not Netanyahu. That's all lies too. You know, I did all that research on that shit.
He's from Neshaminy, right?
Huh?
Is he from like Neshaminy?
He's a Polish guy.
He's from Poland. You look at his name. He changed his name. If that don't tell me this guy is fucking lying, you know.
Jamie Banks, he changed his name a bunch of times. You know, like he's got dual citizenship, Ninevites that are vicious, but they basically play both sides. All the Asians that you see, like all these some Asians, you know, basically.
Oh, yeah. Ways in how, of course, she polluted the world. All right? Because over there, what? Sri Lanka, over there in the east and stuff, you know, them East Indians, they supposed to be what? Dealing with their wives and learning arts and stuff. Now they learning how to accept what? That lifestyle. That lifestyle more to be more, what? Acceptable, which that would be something that'd be a shame. Okay? But now, as we see it in America, that's something that is what? More acceptable. Okay?
Yeah, they write it in their policy. So they already indirectly influence the rest of the world through trends. But then they directly influence the populace by manipulating government. And there are declassified documents that outline all this. Not conspiracy theories, conspiracy facts. Okay? When they try to sway these nations to give them some kind of relief or military aid, best believe underlying that so-called help are these different left-handed agendas, whether it's Moism, we'll just say it like that, for the algorithm's sake, whether it's Moism, alphabet community lifestyles, rainbow, right, liberating the women, all right, or the woman, that's all in there. They just put it in there euphemistically. They're not going to come out and say, yeah, in order to receive this aid, you got to free your women. No, you have to accept portions of democracy. This is why they constantly say democracy, democracy, democracy. Because under that umbrella is all, like the said, that different philosophy. Remember, it is so-called, America is a so-called democratic republic. Well, people don't understand that. People get lost in these terms. But under that banner of democracy, they influence the rest of the world. And a lot of times the reason why those other countries are in the condition that they're in is because they covertly destabilized it. Remember, problem, reaction, solution. So then they come in there, we'll provide you military aid, we'll provide you with economic relief. And it's really just a hostile takeover.